Duck had been sent to the works, but repairs had taken a long time, and he was eager to get back to his branch line. To make sure everything was in order, he was set to work shunting around the station. He was glad to be outside again, but quickly grew bored. "How I long to get back to my own life," he grumbled to Skarloey. "At least the view will change. The sea, the small villages, and unlike Thomas's branch line, no sheep." He recalled his recent encounter with a cart of wool. Skarloey chuckled. "Sheep can be trouble," he sympathised. "I've had problems with them myself." "Do tell." So Skarloey did. When our line first opened, the only work we had to do was to take workers to the quarries and mines, and take trucks from there to the harbours or junctions. Our lines had been built through farmers' fields in many places, and because money was short, fences were either weak or missing. The gangers made slow progress, but we could often see them at work alongside our tracks. "The sooner they finished, the better," Rheneas would say. He was always worried he would be late. I was worried that I might hurt a stray animal. One evening, I was returning to the station with a train of workmen. As I made my way along, there was a man by the side of the tracks waving us down.
"Some of my sheep have escaped their field and run down the line. Can I ride with you until we reach them?"
said the farmer. "Oh, I suppose so," my driver replied, "but they'll likely run away as we approach them." He couldn't have been more wrong. A short way down the line, and blocked in by new fencing, the sheep were happily grazing on the grass that grew beside the track. They weren't bothered by my presence at all. The farmer tried to chase them away, but they didn't want to know.
"If only I had my sheepdog,"
he sighed. I was growing impatient. "I'm going to be late," I said angrily, "and the workers won't be home in time for their tea." I frustratedly let off steam. The sheep didn't like that, and scampered a short way up the line ahead. "Steady, boy," my driver said. "Don't get too worked up over it. You'll scare those animals." But the farmer had an idea.
"If I go back and retrieve my sheepdog and lorry, do you think you could herd the flock up to the crossing where I could get them clear?"
"It's worth a try," I said uncertainly. So the farmer hurried off across the fields, whilst I carefully approached the sheep again. I whistled loudly. "Move along now!" The sheep did so. And so, very slowly, we made our way up the line, whistling and hissing to keep the flock moving. I can only imagine what people in the nearby villages must have made of the noise. At last we reached the crossing. The farmer was indeed waiting, and his sheepdog soon had the flock rounded up into the back of the lorry.
Well done, Skarloey. I am sorry for causing you such a delay.
Oh, you couldn't help it, I replied. But now I must hurry. I set off as fast as I could. It was late by the time I reached the station, but the workers were grateful I made it at all. Very clever thinking, said one. Perhaps you should take up shepherding, Skarloey. At least you'd keep the lines clear. Thankfully, Skarloey smiled. I've never had to do that again. I don't think being a shepherd quite suits an engine after all. Duck laughed. If anyone could pull it off, he said, you could. Thank you, Skarloey. I feel much better now. And with a friendly peep, Duck went back to work. Skarloey watched until he was out of sight, and then, thinking about how much things had changed since those early days, went happily to sleep.